So we know that Mickey 17 was definitely not the first one, right? And basically, how did the original one die?
Was he the one who died by poisoning, or when he went outside the roof or outside the space station?
See, that's the problem. We never really truly
No.
knew.
He said it.
Oh,
he went through how all they died. I just don't remember what he said.
I thought they told him, like, you're probably used to this by now. We just wanted to make sure that you go out there in the sun and, just experience what you're feeling.
I'm not sure if that was his first one, though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think there was something before that. But we do learn on how pretty much all his Mickeys died.
Yeah, exactly.
But leading up to Mickey 17, we know that the last 3 ones before him were the ones that was the cure for the vaccine, for they could live in the planet and go in.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
that was a cool premise.
Yeah.
I was engaged with that.
Well,
I love that part. It was amazing how they were using that kind of scientific stuff right there.
Yeah.
Like how they had to use that kind of like how would it be cool if you finally found like kind of the cure for like a planet Earth where you don't have to basically freeze up your lungs when it's cold, or even the environment of poison. Sorry.
No. But like even then, like it shows how messed up it is. It goes into stuff like, you're not doing animal testing, but you're testing someone like that. Like you're actually killing them.
Oh yeah.
And then it goes into he's just gonna come back. His feelings don't matter. It's like he's still a person in the end of the day, and then that's where it leads on to he's rotten flesh, which they discussed when that's why they didn't eat him.
Not rotten flesh, recycled
flesh. Yeah.
It is funny how they kind of mentioned that.
And
the reason why they don't want to eat you, because remember in the couple in the beginning where he was basically frozen, he was actually basically ready to die, but he woke up, and obviously these monsters come up, but they didn't eat him.
Yeah.
And obviously they keep thinking that they didn't eat him because he just wasn't good enough to eat.
He even thought himself.
Yeah.
And of course his shitty friend left him he's known since Earth.
Who was the shitty friend?
Stephen Yeun.
Yeah, and he's playing the role as Timo,
a total piece of shit. It shows manipulation too.
Oh yeah.
Like in this, he literally screws him over for his own benefits, and he doesn't even change too. No. So we learned that in the end of the film that he does not change who he really is at all.
Even though he was a complete ass, he actually kind of, to be honest, he kind of rise above everything, really.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, I was like, you would expect that one of the villains, like the villains will lose here. He's the only guy who basically managed to actually become one of the only villains that actually got really what he wanted.
Rises above all the time.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus, like you're an ass, kind of like you, but you should have had it coming. That's how I thought he was gonna die during that fight scene.
I thought he was gonna die, and he won. So.
I guess I really love that. I guess Boo Jong-ho actually loved that actor a lot. So I guess they kind of give him that role.
Yeah, I'm glad.
The golden child, the golden egg. Yeah, so either way, we definitely like Mark Ruffalo. Who is this guy that he's playing as?
So he's a politician. However, he's a joke of a politician.
Yeah.
Which, here in other countries have had them in the past. They talk a big talk and stuff like that. And he did do this final thing. I don't think he came up with the idea, but he probably stole the idea. But of taking that trial and error for humanity out of Earth, and then that's the problem. This is where it becomes a problem too, because no one owns space and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to things like on a cruise, right?
Yeah, and he was making the rules as he was going.
Exactly. Except they did have to follow the Earth rules once when they went out there, which is. Yeah. If there are multiple clones, they have to delete the file. So, which we learn in this film.
Oh yeah, they call them multiples.
Yes, multiples. That's what it was.
And there was a little kind of like a backstory to this, which I was still engaged with this. I love this part because it was showing some history behind this about the cloning, because they were trying to understand, at least the people, like there is a good idea to have this cloning project just for somebody to be expendable.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's fine. We're going to use it for good. Didn't realize that what would happen, there'll be more of them.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to a young man that was basically, I guess, using murder.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? Like multiple, like he was cloning himself and he was doing a killing spree.
Yeah.
And basically they couldn't track him down because it was actually pretty fun.
The whole backstory of everything was, I liked fairly.
Yeah, I like the science stuff as well. That part was amazing. I love when they went to space. It took them like what, technically to 40 years to get up to the place for the planet. That's what they talked about. Do you remember how long it would took them to go from Earth all the way to that new planet
that they went to?
Yeah, to the went.
No, it took 4.5 years to get
40?
there.
I thought I said 40.
No.
No?
It was 4.5 years.
Or was it going to say 40 to actually colonize the whole thing?
Maybe to colonize it.
Because I heard something about 40 years.
Yeah, but that was the goal.
Yeah, it succeeded. But kind of.
I mean, I definitely really like that they touched the, in the very beginning, they talk, Steven Yeun says it, how does it feel to how to die?
And that's a big question that everybody was trying to get out of him.
That was the biggest theme in the whole, the biggest question and theme that was asked, in this film. And in reality, he doesn't want to answer it and stuff like that because he hates it. And if it relates to every single person, but everyone, excludes him out because he comes back with his memories, but you're scared shitless when you die.
Oh, yeah.
There's no changing that. And that's, we do get an answer from him. He said he's scared no matter how many times. And even when he knows he's coming back, he's scared.
And that's everybody's afraid of that, of course. Even though Mickey was going to die, it's one of those kind of curiosity that people want to know, but you would expect them, or at least he would tell that to the scientists. I'm guessing he was taking that as, you know what, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to die, no matter what.
It's like a trigger question, pretty much. And as we learn, every Mickey's pretty much different. We learned that the fourth one was arrogant, and we learned that one was very clingy and stuff like that.
But I'm still kind of confused at that part because the other one, I guess they had that Mickey before, the aggressor kind. All of a sudden, that guy just tried to kill everybody.
Well, because he's it could, if you think about, there's always errors in science and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It could, every time and then they do show, one part unplugs when the guy trips over something. And they showed time and time again they were being incapable of sometimes cloning him.
Oh, that's true.
Because they're literally letting him fall down and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, because they didn't really care about
exactly,
him.
because they just see him as an expendable, not as a person. But he even says it too to the animal thing. He's like, you saw me as a person, as somebody.
Oh yeah,
and everybody just sees him as expendable. I'll see you in a few hours.
Yeah, see, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah. So that's why I think a lot of the themes did hit.
Yeah, some of them, yeah, for sure. I think for me, some of the themes that didn't happen is when they try to do a little bit more comedy and these out of the way stuff for some reason. The pigeon thing when he comes out with that.
No, I like the pigeon.
I thought the pigeon was good. I was like, what's going on here?
I mean, no, the reason why I worry is because his Mark Ruffalo's character is ridiculous too.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. His character is he's this mayor guy or the president of this whole facility who's bringing down rules that one of them is no intercourse because they're trying to save calories.
Yeah, that stuff was.
I was like, wait, what? And I like it because I was like, is there going to be a problem for that? But because if they don't save up enough,
rations,
because they'll start, sweating or basically losing anything a value. So they don't want to waste anything away, which is kind of interesting for that. And I do like that kind of scientific part in the very beginning because it was actually really fun thinking about that. Yeah. But I just like it because it didn't even matter because Mickey fell in love with this person named Nasha because apparently she was sitting there as well by herself. She didn't care what Mark Ruffalo was talking about.
But that show, later they show that a lot of them don't.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't care about it. So they were just having fun right there. And basically they had, interactions there. And basically it was already too late. They were already had fun. And obviously what happens after that, boy, throughout the whole little experimenting when they actually did have a lot of failures of,
The
vaccines, right? Yeah. And this is the part where it was brutal because you actually see Mickey was going through a lot of shit.
Yeah, a lot of
stuff, a lot of poisoning. And basically, they just testing this poor guy to just take it for the champ. And basically, this is exactly what he signed up for. this is the thing that he needs to go through because he
Yeah.
signed a contract for, which, you know, kind of for me kind of did a little eyebrow because I'm just like, is he the only one that's going to be like that? Isn't there going to be multiple of them? You know, like maybe a different person like to help him out a little bit. But no, they didn't. It's just that one guy.
Yeah, it takes 20 hours to print a new one. That's what it said.
All right.
Yeah, 20 hours. So if you think about it, it's kind of like 3D printing now. A lot of 3D printers take like 11 hours and stuff like that. And I imagine printing a whole person would take something like that.
Yeah, but you know, they could bring like 2 machines or another machine. But obviously when he finally goes into the planet and he finally got saved by these creatures that he thought they were going to kill him.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was going to get devoured.
They called them creepers.
Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo, he thought of it.
Yeah.
Or who thought about it? It wasn't him, it was somebody else.
I think it was his wife.
So you know what? I'll call them the creepers because that's what they are. They actually look adorable.
Yeah.
And I did like it because he thought he was going to get eaten. You see little guys just look like kind of nibbling on him, but not really. He's like, please, big chunks, big bites.
Yeah. He's
like get it over with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I just want to die already.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen because they just kicked him out of their freaking home.
Yeah.
In a way, they did say the creature saved his life, right?
I don't remember why exactly it saved them. It's just, I think they said they saw him as a person who needed help.
Yeah, I know. They didn't really explain it. I thought they just kicked him out because they didn't want him to be there.
No.
Okay. They just saved him?
Yeah, he needed help.
Oh, okay.
And then it touches on like, you know, colonization and stuff like that. You know, settlers come in, the natives help, and then what do? You know, it touches on stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So you know, a lot of, regardless where you go, it's basically showing history repeats itself. You know,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like one of those fun parts where you gotta understand and see it for yourself if you really want to watch it.
And then this is where we get the big issues. He learns that time has passed because I guess it took them a while. They dragged him around. He was on the floor for hours. They thought Mickey's dead.
Yeah.
So they cloned him, which leads to Mickey 18.
And I love this part because the interacting with these two, when they finally got into screen, it actually brought the level up for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is one of the best parts that I think I saw for a bit.
Yeah.
For like, like cloning kind of like when you had to play 2 parts. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Pretty good, actually, I thought.
It was pretty
like,
nice.
I've seen Legend, and Legend wasn't as good as this.
Yeah, I just wished it would have been more. Like, I know he was the more aggressive type, but I wish they would have at least showed why he got a little too crazy. Like, to me, like he was more of the guy who wanted to just shoot everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if I missed something. I do want to know why or how, perhaps like an idea of why he was the way he was, or how these Mickeys were. Because I might have to rewatch it again. But he did talk about, like, when Nasha mentioned it, she mentioned, like, how they were different. And then he was like, this guy's crazy. And then that's where it goes in the back of the guy who helped create the thing, how he was crazy. So,
I don't know. The guy in the facility of the police officer, he was already crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he was the one who helped make it.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And sometimes when people make something, they put, like, a part of themselves in it, you know?
Oh, yeah. But in a way, it was mostly just him making the copier. He already has, evil intent to do it.
Yeah.
So, because he already have a plan of cloning himself.
Yeah.
And that's how he got into the killing spree.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He had a lot of rampages going on. They took him in jail. They put a trial on him, but they didn't know what to do because
we can't pin him on it.
Yeah, he's one guy and the other guy didn't do anything.
He's like, or did all 3 of them do it?
Yeah,
it's
do we feed them the same lunch or what do we do with this guy?
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with it.
And that brings up a lot of questions more than answers.
So they basically just kind of let the guy go because they couldn't even get around it. I don't know. Did they explain? I don't think they even explain like where did that guy even end up afterwards.
I don't think so. He might have just ended in prison. All of his clones.
Probably, yeah. Because there was like 5 of them.
Yeah, no, because I think he did say like when they did catch 2, there was another murder, and then they had to get him, and then because it said they had all 3, and that's where it leads to do they all get the same lunch or do they get separate lunches, you know?
All right, so obviously, yeah, when basically they finally discover themselves, like there's two basically Mickeys. Of course, the other one, first instant is to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was afraid of,
the multiple.
Yeah, multiples.
They knew it. He even knew it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when they went to their background with the other multiples, like what they did to them and all that kind of nice little stuff. And obviously he was thinking about the nice one, number 17, is thinking about, all right, if I'm going to, if he's going to try to kill me, I have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And that's how they started fighting. And they started doing this crazy stuff, which I was in it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty good because obviously they were talking about, the whole soul thing. Like, what would happen if I die? Yeah. Would I come back again as the same me, or is the other guy going to come back as the other me? Like so,
it's in a way it like skips that chapter of his life if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what he was scared of.
True, and then, he did say it too.
And then he was like, "That isn't going to be me." You see what this is where like the confusion of stuff in life and becomes an issue.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which is why he was trying to like plead, make a deal, you split the workload.
I know, right? Like I like it because he was like, I only been alive for like 2 hours. Yeah. You were alive for like since yesterday.
Yeah. He's like, I need this.
Yeah. Because they're not too sure themselves if they were actually going to live, even if there's another copy will have the same personalities in or the same memories. Yeah. Well, technically, they have the same memory, but is it the same soul?
Yeah.
I guess that's the more...
That is,
the more knowledge you could get from it. Yeah. Because it was confusing a little bit, but if you get it, if you watch it, you'll understand a little bit more. So and this is the part where they start fighting. This is when they finally got, Timo, who finally came in.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was selling some drugs.
Yeah, which, surprise, surprise, humans always try to find a way to find drugs.
I know, it was insane how that
I was surprised about that too. And of course, he's always finding a way to make a living.
Yeah. And obviously, I think this is when the other Mickey 18 was looking at him, and he's like, "I gotta kill this guy."
Well, I mean, it's understandable. Like, because understandable. He's like, he threw us under the bus,
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
So the more I think about it, I feel like because there's a scene towards the end of the film, which I'm going to go ahead and dive into now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is remember when he keeps on talking about the button with his mom, and he says, "Remember, we talked about this." They never talked about it.
They never did.
But the reason why I think that is because I'm starting to think it's like different personalities and thoughts that we all think in our head. So, when you have self-doubt, then you have the other, voice in your head. It's like, you could do it. It's stuff like that. That's what I think Mickey 18 was. Mickey 18 was the backbone that 17 was missing. So it's like you could say part of the brain or the other personality of that. That's what I think Mickey 18 was. He was like the reinsurance. Even in the ending, when he's having the dream and stuff like that about he's like, you died and stuff like that. He's like, what would Mickey 18 do? Basically his other half, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that leads into something else, thinking about.
No, it's exactly what you said. Like, he is the backbone. He is basically his conscience, kind of telling him to push him a little bit to the edge. Yeah, and he, to be honest, he was more of the psychotic one.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, it's like the rage side, because they say everyone thinks of psychotic thoughts. Impulses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
that's where it leads to also a lot of science, psychology, and stuff like that in this film.
So it's impulsive one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So, and this was more the upfront, sick of it type of Mickey.
Yeah,
because he knows what they're doing to him and how they treat him. That's why he was very angry when Mickey 17 told him about what happened to him. He was really mad. And then he wanted to kick his ass. And he's like, it's not your fucking fault. Yeah. He's like, it's not, it's this guy,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what I mean.
But boy, people will say, he did sign a contract that basically said that anything that he read was gonna happen.
People like that are the corporate motherfuckers that keep people in chains. But you're right. You're right. Yeah, exactly.
Because this is the part where like a lot of people are basically this is the thing that people were trying to avoid because they don't want to get to this torture. I'm guessing everybody have literacy up to the max and read throughout the hundreds of paperwork except for Mickey because he was desperate.
Yeah.
And he wanted to leave.
Well, there's always going to be someone desperate than the other person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is the part where I got a little grudge on. Yeah. It's like, you're the only one who signed this. Liars. But all right. I guess Mickey is that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I wish they would have done it a little bit more, at least some more little hoops that he actually somehow managed to go up to the hoops. But yeah, obviously psychology with it is actually interesting for me.
Very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and I do like some of that as well.
Because they kept on talking about that stuff, mom memory and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they were talking about like the button stuff. Yeah. It's like, I'm the one who killed her.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was a car malfunction. Yeah. It wasn't your fault.
Exactly.
If I never pressed that button, she could have probably be alive.
Yeah.
It's like, no. It's kind of interesting who's actually telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because one could be saying what the other person would like to hear. And it could be very interesting.
Because we don't see it. We just hear it from him.
And we don't know who's telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Which is interesting. It leaves an open discussion there.
Yeah.
I like that. Continuing, I guess.
So obviously he went to go try to kill.
Yeah.
He's like, obviously he was ready to kill him, but then more people started coming in. And he told him, if you say anything else, I really will kill you.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. Because he kind of stand up to him. He's like, just stop
he
belittling me and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, all right, don't worry. I would have died if it wasn't for Mickey 18.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like that he was like patting him like on the
like good job.
chest. Yeah.
He's like, hey, you have more drugs? Yeah, later.
Yeah.
I love it because that's all they were like. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to sell drugs. And that's the funny part. Obviously, Mickey 18 and 17th are talking behind the back. Or actually, that's when, what's her name? Nasha came in. Basically, Mickey 18, started grabbing her and basically, like, doing some freaky stuff to her.
Yeah.
And you see Mickey 17 is getting jealous.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, that's my girl.
Yeah, he's like, why is he doing that? And stuff like that. He's like, that's our thing.
I know, and I like Nasha because she was like this. Man, I didn't see this side of you since like.
Did she say that?
Yeah, like.
Oh yes, well.
Like Mickey 6 or something.
Yeah,
or 7.
I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Which was hilarious because I think there was another aggressive one like that too.
Yeah, I think it was 4 or something like that she said, but yeah, when he tries following them without being seen by other people.
This is when the chicken guy
comes in. The pigeon guy, which you're going to have to tell me what happens in this scene. Because the only thing I know is they took him to the room because he won a free pass.
Oh, yeah. It was all a decoy. It was like a setup. Basically, they tried making Mickey 17 really important. Like, basically, he's like, you won a prize against a steak dinner. Or it was an awful dinner.
Yeah.
But the best dinner with the president. You're gonna go up there, and you're gonna have dinner with his wife. And and this other person came in that we didn't talk about. Her name was not Kate. Gimma.
No, it's like Kai. No, it's in Kai.
Oh, Kai. Yeah.
Kai. So that's when I went to the restroom. So what was he trying to imply? It seemed like he was trying to imply a superior race, but I don't know. I left.
Okay, so this is the part where. What happened with Kai?
Because I know he was eating.
Yeah, he was eating. He was eating that steak because everybody was eating this blue nasty stuff. I don't know what it looks disgusting, but he was happy. He was actually eating something like real food.
Yeah,
and it was cool because everybody was like, "Oh, you like that food? Yeah." Because they were hungry too.
Yeah,
but they didn't mention him that he was a test all this time.
That's fucked.
Yeah, and basically that's when Kai showed up and basically was ready to eat it, but we didn't talk about this. That one of actually a person actually died.
I think it was her girlfriend or something.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah,
Kenneth was actually very very pissed with that.
Yeah, he yelled at him.
He's like, "You're the one who's supposed to die. You're the freaking expendable right here."
Yeah,
and it was sad because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You really couldn't. So obviously, when that happens, he takes the full back, the back slap.
Yeah,
of the whole
that's
thing.
how he ended up because he had to work doubles.
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
So little did he know when he was eating that steak, starting to swallow up because he's starting to start vomiting all over the place. And they were just discovering like, hey, somebody help him. And you see all the scientists, the nerd guys showed up and basically running tests.
That's
and
funny.
running tests. And they're just saying like, oh, sorry, sir, we failed. We can't eat this meat. It's like, it's my failure. I should have done better. It's like, no. This is just one false step to a better, higher cause. It's just like, oh, that's so screwed up. Yeah. Like you just see Mickey die, and the only person who cared about him was actually Kai. Yeah, she was the only one cared because she apparently has feelings for Kai as well. And obviously he's like, is there any way we could help him? And this is when they got the blue jelly serum. They didn't talk about anything else besides the blueberry gel serum.
Okay.
They just injected it in him, and basically, it was never mentioned again. He got better, though.
Oh. But then why were they going to shoot him in the head?
Yeah, they were going to shoot him in the head because they didn't know if the blueberry jelly serum was going to be the thing that was going to save his life.
Okay, so... okay.
They just wanted to go like, you know what? Let's just put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
But no, luckily the blueberry jelly serum actually managed to save his life. Kind of. It was still like kind of developing, but he did save.
Yeah.
It did save his life. And that's when obviously Kai took her to
her place.
Her place, and basically was giving him tea.
Earth tea,
and just saying like, how does it feel dying?
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna explain more into something else. I know like she was talking about her dead friend.
Yeah.
But I thought she was gonna say more different stuff. Like, you know what? I wish they wouldn't have done that to you. I wish you would have, they would stop doing it. I wish there was a different way. But no, she just wants to know what everybody else wants to know. How does dying?
Everyone would want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we do learn, like which I mentioned earlier. He's scared all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I would imagine.
I think it's more of a feeling. It's just like, how is it like dying and then coming back again? Is that what they really want to know?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting seeing that. Like, basically, that's what everybody wants to know. Like, everybody, of course, knows that they're afraid, but...
I mean, if you think about it, like, you don't know. Even that Mickey doesn't know, because it's not like they brought that Mickey, the one who died, back to life. They're just taking his old memories and putting it in the new one.
Yeah.
So you can't say, how does it feel dying? Or what does it feel like? The only thing you will know is fear, because you don't know if there's an afterlife, because you died. That Mickey died. You didn't take his soul or his so you just took his memories.
Yeah. That's why they call him Mickey 17,
yeah.
Mickey 18. It's a different Mickey.
Yeah.
They didn't treat him as a Mickey. They just treat him as a clone of expendable
as a
Mickey.
Number.
Exactly, as a number. And so after that, what happened, boy? What exactly happened after the whole,
He told her what he felt. She asked if there's open. After they were open, he's like, I gotta go. He left.
Like, are you open? He's like, I gotta go.
This is where it leads to another, how do you say? Another...
weird event.
It's weird, but it's if you think about it, like now, in today's age, with like androids and stuff like that,
yeah, it
kind of like hints on that topic too.
Really?
If you think about it, yeah, because people want to bang robots and they want to, and it's like clones. And she even said herself, like, you would want to do the same thing if there's two of her.
Maybe two, maybe.
That's what she said. Yeah.
But would you be all? Nah.
See, that's.
But I'm not gonna get into that.
But you get what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Right? That's a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
That's another discussion.
Okay. True.
It's a weird discussion, but that's another discussion.
Rated R discussion.
Yeah, that's a discussion that they opened too in the film.
Yeah.
Is with clones and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. It did also explain that she was not also in the right mind because she was taking drugs as well. Because he was actually wondering, like, why is she okay with this? Why isn't she not freaking out? Because she had some drugs with him as well, number 18.
Yeah, she was on something.
Yeah. And obviously they were just, fucking around, and obviously they try doing something.
Yeah, he was very uncomfortable, and then Kai shows up.
I was laughing at this
Yeah.
part, like 18 was touching his hair.
Yeah.
Number 17, he was like, "Can you leave us alone?"
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, because exactly. That's how I would have felt for
Yeah.
Mickey 17
Yeah.
if I was in the same position.
That was hilarious.
It was funny to me.
Yeah.
See, this is where the chuckles were like happening.
Yeah.
So obviously that's when Kai came in.
She came to bring the rest of the tea. She was mad that she didn't want to share that there was a multiple violation already.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I guess she was stormed out.
Yeah, so they tried making a deal, which the deal fell flat because that's when they're arguing down there. The Mickeys are arguing, and he told them what happened.
Yeah.
And this is where we learn of the rock, that big ass rock that Mickey came in with later. So they're arguing. The girls are trying to have a compromise, while the guys, that's where I talked about earlier, where Mickey 18 learned what happened. That he's so sick of him of just treating him like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Technically, and that's why he wanted to fight that Mickey and kill him. But he's like,
while Nasha and Kai basically are talking about like you're not supposed to talk about him. Like ever since you had eyes on Mickey, I wanted to punch you in your face. And he's like, how about this? I'll take number 17 and you'll have number 18. Yeah. And it was ridiculous, but it's kind of funny how it was trying to work out that way. But she's like, no, they're one soul, they're one person. Like Mickey's all mine, and it's like kind of true.
But it's like, are they even one soul and stuff like that? That's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah, and obviously you see after the whole fight scene happened, you see Mickey 18 rushing over to assassinate the president because the president is being an ass. He's on live television, like opening this rock that basically it was a pretty shiny, cool rock.
Kenneth cuts it in half and stuff like that. He gives a speech.
Yeah, and he's like, this is going to be our gravestone, like for every name and known to man.
Me, you.
That guy over there, the camera dude.
Yeah. 18 gets ready, to take aim, and then you see a bug come out.
The creeper.
Oh, yeah, the creeper.
It was a baby creeper, not a full-size creeper, but it was a baby creeper.
There was 2, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is the part where they basically started grabbing it. I guess he was going crazy. He's like, capture that thing, capture the creeper.
Yeah.
And obviously one of them spit in his face. And he's like, spray that, like the whole tube thing.
Oh, yeah, on me. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Yeah. When they were gunning him down.
Yeah, like, do it. I like that part. That made me laugh a lot. Stupid. It was. That was the highlight for me.
Yeah, they captured one of the baby bugs, and then they caught 18 and held 18 down. They gunned the shit out of everybody, or the bugs, and then they got all arrested.
Yeah, because they saw the multiples, and they already said that's really bad. That's a no-no.
They have to follow the law.
Yep, they had to follow the law, and Nasha was also in jail as well. She's trying to explain to them, like, well, you're going to tell them that number 18, instead of shooting at him, you're the one you were trying to save from, from the creeper.
He was like,
but you missed.
That. Yeah.
But he's like, you think that guy is going to listen to us? He already has his mindset.
Yeah, there's already 2 of us.
Yeah. It's like, he's not going to care. And it's just like, yeah, you're right. And that's when, obviously, our boy comes back again, Timo.
Yeah.
with his insane plan. He's like, those loan sharks? Yeah, they found us.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, this is where we learned their dark secret.
Yeah, and it was insane. Apparently, there's this old man that has the pleasure of killing people nice and slowly. He likes the pleasure of it. And what he wanted is, he wanted to see somebody die in
one
a
of the
horrible
2,
day. Yeah, one of the Mickeys. He didn't care who was going to do it. Even if it's rock, paper, scissors, which is funny. It's gotta be somebody.
that was stupid.
Yeah, so obviously he was going to, kill one of them, but he's like, I'm going to choose this number 17 because he's weaker. He's after when he's about to get rid of him, or about to slide him open, obviously number 18 went in there. He's like, you know what? Just get me, do me, because obviously I'm going to be the best. I'm going to take it. and your employer is gonna
Yeah.
be, a lot more
Yeah, he's like,
happier.
just give me a drug. That's it. That's all you owe me, buddy.
Yeah.
Basically, after everything we did.
And they managed to kick his ass.
Yeah.
I think that's the only punishment that you really got
Yeah.
throughout the film.
Exactly. Tased.
Tased, punch, and he almost got killed.
Yeah.
And this is the part where obviously Mickey finally found out that Nasha would do about anything to actually have him safe.
Yeah.
Which was nice. It was a nice little warming kind of thing.
Then we get the guys come in. The guards come in.
And for some reason, you see Mark Ruffalo like a villain.
Oh, yeah.
He comes out like with a weird suit and with a lot of guards. You see another person, the nerdy girl.
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor who is basically doing this weird kind of. She understands some sort of language.
As they're walking on the way. Yeah. No, because they were testing already the bug.
Yeah.
And they learned that it was already trying to communicate.
Yeah, it was like something.
Yeah, and she knew that he knew about it.
Well, he didn't understand how to really communicate with them. He just made the noise.
Yeah, mimic them, basically.
Yeah, mimic them. He's just like, you can mimic them? It was just weird at that part. I was like, wait, what? So he was probably talking a bunch of gibberish to them.
Most likely.
Yeah, until, obviously when they finally got in there and obviously saw the evil Mark Ruffalo, basically Kenneth is basically ready to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And basically he said he was going to erase the memory bank. That means you guys are...
I think he got halfway.
Oh, yeah, he got halfway. Or I think he did destroy it.
No, he did destroy their memories.
Yeah, he's like, yep, this is done. You guys are going to die. That means you only have one life each. Who's the one who's going to die?
Yeah.
But until you start seeing these beasts coming in.
Yeah, well, she kept on bringing up, the beast. No, they knew about the beast already when they were walking and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they brought him. She kept on bringing up good points to where he got annoyed. That's where he put the hook on the baby and then made her catch it with her mouth.
He's like, finally, she shut up.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that Mark Ruffalo. He's a funny asshole, but
I'll tell you,
it's his character.
You would like him in Poor Things. He's hilarious in that movie.
I probably will see it if he's that funny.
No, he's like this character funny.
Oh, okay. So I like that part. So either way, yeah, he's going crazy because I guess he's not having fun anymore because he got shot in the face. What's going on after that? Because I can't quite remember.
No, he got shot, so he branded the 18 for he could know who it was.
Oh, true.
He was gonna have them dumped in there, but then the wife wanted more sauce, tail sauce, which she chopped off the baby's tail.
What's up there with sauce?
I don't know the idea. I mean,
they never explained that.
Well,
right?
it's if you remember The Martian, with Matt Damon, where he's stuck in Mars.
Yeah.
Where he's eating potatoes. You remember he was doing a lot of ketchup.
Oh yeah.
Because you get sick of the taste. So I imagine they don't like the taste of the stuff they're eating too well.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have dived more into it instead of us trying to figure that out. But all right, whatever.
But I know she's in love with their sauce. They make a competition. Whichever Mickey could kill slice 100 is the winner, and the other one gets blown up.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. They attached bombs to them, send them down.
Yeah. And this is the great part where they basically said, when they're about to go head over there, you see the nerdy girl give him
a translator,
but basically it's just a prototype.
Yeah.
And basically they went to go found the big beast, the mama. And that's when they started communicating with each other and basically going like, look, I know you saved me. I'm trying to save you guys, but please don't kill everybody on board because I know you can shred us to pieces if you can.
When they're being recorded and they're being watched, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and this is where the beast was going. Like, look, you are taking our babies there. Yeah. You already killed one of them. If the other one dies, you're all gonna die. Yeah. And I'm gonna make this screeching sound.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
all of them. Now, basically, blow your eyeballs and your mind and heads.
Yeah.
And then obviously they all start screaming. He's like, "Oh my god, we don't have no more time. Let's go there and basically start to communicate." Yeah. Basically, he started doing this weird sign language, and the only one who got it was his 17. Girlfriend.
Oh yeah, the girlfriend.
Yeah, basically, it was like, what was it, a C3? Basically, it was a kinky move set of what was it called?
Yeah,
giving the baby or something like that. Yeah, it was a kinky stuff behind the thing.
So she knew what it was.
Yeah, and basically she was trying to get rid of the baby or give the baby back.
Yeah. While they were talking, they started thinking that they were trying to negotiate with them.
Oh yeah.
So that they came up with the idea of Mark Ruffalo going over them.
Yeah, his henchman was like, "Look, Kenneth, if you go out there and start negotiating, it will look a lot superior of you to negotiate them before you press it by
And kill me." Yeah, they're like, "You would look so good."
He's like, "You're right. It would look good. Prepare the men. Let's go out there." And he was gonna kill all of them.
Yeah,
kill 17 and 18. He didn't care because at that point he was gonna kill all of them and kill the bugs. And it was fucked up.
He's like, "Make sure the camera's rolling."
Yeah. So after that part, you see them finally going in on board. There was this guy. I don't know what was his name. There was basically a person out there that was I can't remember. The Asian guy.
He was like I think a friend of theirs, of the security, but they were recording everything that was happening.
Yeah, basically like a security that basically didn't like, Kenneth as well. Yeah. And they were just like, you know what, we had enough. Let's rebel. Yeah. And they did.
Yeah.
And obviously they got the baby back and they basically let Nasha to go out there and deliver the baby. And not before all the creepers were doing some weird maneuvers with
trying to trick them.
Yeah, defending the mother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like swarming around, and obviously they didn't know what's going on.
She manages to bring the baby to 17 and the mother, but that's where you see 18 go fucking ape shit on Kenneth.
Oh yeah, because this is the part where they parted ways. Like 17 and 18, he's like, "Look, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna sacrifice my life and get rid of that guy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, what?" And he just got dragged away by the huge creeper mob.
Yeah.
And this is the part where he actually had, I guess, I don't know where he got that machete. Oh, no.
No, he already. They gave it to them. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And he went out there to finally kill,
Kenneth. Yeah. Which.
It was nice. Yeah. I like this because this is the part where you actually do hear that, you know what, you actually are afraid of dying.
He's like,
I did like this because Kenneth told him like, so how does it feel of dying? He's like, afraid.
Yeah.
Wow. Either way, I guess everyone is afraid.
Yeah.
Come to me, my boy.
Yeah,
he blows them all up.
Yeah.
He did kill everybody in that part.
He did kill everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever was in that little ship.
After that, it pretty much it skips to 6 months later.
Oh, right after that explosion?
Not after, but like they watch and stuff like that, and the mother leaves.
Oh yeah.
She takes the baby, heals it up, it rolls it around, and then they leave.
Then, what happened to Yofa? Basically, the wife of Kenneth.
We'll find out. Apparently, as soon as he died, she went crazy.
Yeah.
So because they had her locked up already.
Yeah.
But she slit her wrist.
Because that was the confusing part for me, at least. Because when I was looking at that, I was like, "What's she doing?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, is she trying to clone?" And she was cloning Kenneth.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I guess she couldn't do it properly because this was if she was gonna bring him back, why was she trying to make some sort of sauce?
No, he was just like thinking about something because none of that really happened.
Okay.
He was thinking of everything that was like kind of happening. I need to rewatch that scene
because I was looking at it and I was like, "What's happening here?" Because she managed to clone Kenneth. But it didn't go, I guess, all the way pretty good.
No, I don't think any of that really happened. But he said he has bad dreams.
Yeah, it was kind of like
a weird nightmares. Dream. So if you think about it, since he has all those memories of everything that's happened to him, it shows that he has some form of PTSD.
Yeah.
Of everything. Exactly and basically those are the two people who did it to him. They gave him the button. They're like, press the button to destroy the
cloning machine,
copier. That's where he was having self-doubts about it, which shows like it's like there's benefits to it and stuff like that. You know,
he's like, it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to have the other, let's
Yeah.
say, like the 1 through 16 because they didn't have the longer
luxury,
lifespan.
yeah, the luxury of what he basically got lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
But-
I should probably stop feeling bad for this.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just
That-
blow it up.
That's why he said in the end he thought to himself, he's like, what would 18 do?
Yeah.
And then that's why he said, fuck off, like just do it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he blew it up. Because he thought of his other half, like, what would he do? And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what he would do.
But what would 17 do?
Have his doubts, which he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
just clicked it, yeah.
Yeah, and we learned that his girlfriend became the leader of everything.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was political stuff in the background that happened, votes and stuff like that.
Oh, and like the more, like the Kenneth
Yeah.
was basically more pro, and
Yeah.
obviously the non-believers,
But-
they were going at him,
Yeah.
going like, no, you're dumb. We should get rid of these guys.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out
Yeah.
in their favor.
They learned that it made more sense this way versus that way. You know?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, fine. I'll give it a pass.
Yeah, it was getting towards the end. So
Yeah, I know. It was kind of dragging on from this
Yeah.
point. I was like, please end it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a nice little
Okay.
send off to what it is. I think I still think it could have done better for the ending. Like Mickey 17, Mickey 18. I did like some of it, but some of it wasn't that good for me at least. The comedy was there, at least to that part where I was laughing my ass off. That part. Because, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
He could act. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you would like him in the other movies.
Yeah. And obviously the only one who managed to run free was Timo. We talked
Yeah,
about it.
that shit was funny.
I don't know how he did
even
it.
he
but
said
did
it. They're like, we don't know how he did it, but he did it.
So yeah, and of course I think it's one of those films that I think you could actually like it or hate it, because there's a lot of people who hate it
Yeah.
right now in Rotten Tomato.
Yeah. It has good reviews on Letterboxd and IMDb, though.
Either way, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys in the next movie review. All right, later, bye.
Guys.